Hey, let's be nosy and take a look at the CEC website and see if anybody's fed back on the 45-day language yet and what these kinds of feedbacks look like. Now that the 45-day language has been out for 10 days, I thought it would be an interesting idea to go and look and see if anybody's been putting in any real feedback on this. This energy code affects millions and millions of dollars of things in California. Somewhere there's a contractor who's making bank off of the code. Somewhere there's a contractor losing their shirt. It depends on circumstances and how much attention you pay to the code. So let's see what anybody has had to say about the 45-day language at this point before we proceed to telling you how to put in feedback, because any concerned person can put in feedback on the code, and that feedback comes in several forms. Let's take a look at that in a bit. First of all, I'm going to Google to get to the California Energy Commission. I'm going to put docket in the search engine. This is going to bring me up a list of results for search, and I go to Proceedings directory. And here in the Proceedings directory, I can see all the different dockets, and I can find 2017 BSTD 02, and here it is, and that's our new docket, and we're going to click on it, and it's going to bring us a list of all the documents on the docket. Now if I go down to the bottom, I can see that in a curious twist, there were a bunch of things, studies and whatnot, documents relied upon. There you go. Background documents that were put in by the CEC, and then the memo to open this docket. And then here's all of our 45-day code, and you'll note it's all been put in by the California Energy Commission. So if you're going to find feedback, it won't be put in by the Energy Commission. It will have been put in by another individual. Typically, they might put corrections, mid-course corrections in here. So here we have one. It looks as if our new code articles and case team reports were put out on 2018. So where's our first feedback? Here we have one. This is insulation manufacturers, probably not something that concerns lighting, but that was 4 days after the new code came out. Cooling tower. Let's 75-page feedback here. That might be interesting to look at. We won't look at it now. Let's find one that kind of stuck out. Translational psychiatry, 9 pages. Let's take a look at their feedback. And here is their feedback. Timing of light exposure affects mood and brain circuits. Well, this is a very unusual feedback, I can tell you right now. This is not the type of thing that you see typically for feedback. So let's go back. By the way, there's a lot of concerns about these bluish outdoor lights, perhaps messing with people's circadian rhythms. Okay, well, back on our list, here's somebody who wants a requirement added to the code, and it's only 2 pages here. So let's see what they are asking for. Please add to the requirement for field acceptance testing, approval by any CSLB license to do these as certified acceptance testing professionals. So what they're asking for is that the HVAC, the mechanical acceptance testing course, be allowed to be bypassed, basically, by anybody who has the following contractor state license board numbers in California. Probably not going to happen would be my guess. But here you see, if you have a wish list, you can put it in as feedback. Now I'm going to go back to the pre-rulemaking docket, which was BSTD 01. We're on 02 now, but Let's take a look at BSTD01 and look at some feedback. All right, let's take a look at this feedback. It's 5 pages and addresses a number of code articles individually. And so this is one form of feedback. This looks very nice. It has a whole bunch of stuff on there. I would kind of prefer that personally to pick one specific article and address it completely, but that's just me. So there's a type of a feedback. Here's one from a major manufacturer, which is probably similar in nature, in that it's going to address a number of code articles. There we are. Yep. You see it here. There's 110.9. Here's our good old friend 130.1a. Oh, well, lo and behold, look at who put this one in. See, they'll let just anybody into this docket. So here we have my stating, and this is true, that they don't seem to have a clear legal requirement for acceptance testing. That's lighting controls acceptance testing of 2 types of power adjustment factors. The one where you have the occupancy sensors in large open plan offices above workstations, and also daylight dimming plus off. While they do have institutional tuning in this section called 130.4a that stipulates legally that you must do acceptance testing, they were missing language about the large open office and daylight dimming plus off. So my suggestion was that they simply add these 2 sections after number 7 for institutional tuning. So if you're going to cover this power adjustment factor, you should probably cover daylight dimming plus off and occupant sensing in large open plan offices. Other forms of feedback typically will have a letter talking about how much the specific business or distributor or organization supports the energy goals, energy reduction goals, kind of a, yeah, we support you at the CEC. All of these are posted publicly in the docket, so anybody can look at them, and therefore I can show them to you. So